Coming up on the next episode. Alright, well, you can see I have the back on now, and that's all straightened up. So next step is to start wiring this little device here. I just wanted to show you also that the caps did come in, the 82-160, 10 of them, from China, less than a week. Gotta love it. So there's that. I think what I probably want to do is get this all fixed up first. It's got to go to that little ground tab right there, or over there. Either one, it doesn't matter, but it won't reach either one. So it's going to have something added to it to make it reach. So I guess that's the next step. Get a piece of wire or something to run over here and do that one, and that should be good. I think what I'm going to try to do is, this is pin 1 here, and I've got to run a wire from here to here to make my ground. So I don't think this is internally done that way, because this is not a metal tube. But anyway, so I got to figure out if there's anything else goes to pin 1. So that's the tie point for ground. So we'll have to look at that real close and get all our wires ready to go here and see what all I got. I got my schematic up, so I can keep an eye on that and see what I'm doing. So that's good. Alright, I'll bring you back. Alright, well, I couldn't see what I was doing here. I don't have my magnification now. I've got the magnification in here. I can see a little bit better now. Okay, here's pin 1 again. Starting from pin 1. That's ground, goes over to the ground lug, and that ties to this 470 ohm or k ohm resistor, which goes to pin 4, I think, of the 50L6. So that's correct. Then from there it goes to pin 3, and then it goes to pin 5. All 3 are grounded. So that's correct. So that's pin 1. Now pin 2 is our filament voltage, as I said before. Pin 3 is our ground again. And pin 4 is our lead-in from the first IF transformer. And that's the green wire. It should be green. Yes, it's correct. Alright. Pin 5 again is ground. Not much else you can say about that. Pin 6. Now this is the interesting one, because this is the one that basically had to add the capacitor to. So it had 2 wires. You may remember from the other video that I told you it had 2 wires going to it already, and they do. And I've got them 2 down here. One's on the lower hole lug, and then the other 2, the capacitor and the other wire from the which is from the these are the power wires, by the way, the power B+, and one of them comes from pin 5, I believe, or pin 4 of the 12SA7. That's this one here, and the other one goes to pin 4 of the 50L6, which gives it power. I believe that's it. Yeah, this is it here, pin 4 right there. Okay, yep, that's it. So those 2, and then the capacitor goes to ground. I've got it grounded right here. So that is all well and good. Now that's pin 6. And pin 7 goes from pin 2 of the 50L6, which is again our filament, and that gets the filament power on the 50L6. So that is correct there. Now the only one on pin 8 is the input to the second IF transformer, the green one, and that's what that is, and that's where it goes, and we're back to 1. So there you go. That's how it's wired up, and that should work out rather well, and we're going to test it just in a second here and find out if it does. So stay tuned. Alright, it is all plugged in now and working. string slips on there. That's why it's hard to tune in. So you can hear it does work pretty good. Now the next thing on this is going to be the alignment, and that will have to. I was touching that, forgot it wasn't. I forgot it's not in the. I've got it plugged into the record socket, so it may be a little buzz on it. So yeah, we're listening to the buzz. Might as well have a little buzz, right? So, but anyway, it is working just fine. And like I say, it works as it should, and came right up and did what it was supposed to do. So I guess I got it right. Some question to that sometimes, especially after supper. Now, before supper, I'm usually pretty sharp on stuff like that. But after supper, the eyes giving out a little bit, and I have to use that magnification lamp a lot more. And so, you know, it is what it is. Had a little trouble getting the tube into the socket. It was a really stiff socket. Of course, it's brand new, you know, never been used. So, but it works. It does work, and they are in there, and everything's hunky-dory, as they say. So, we're going to wrap this part of it up, and I don't know where we're going next, but I will do more tomorrow on probably the Packard Bell or something of that sort, and then we'll end up with the global radio, getting that on the bench, seeing what it needs. And if we have time, if it's not getting too busy, I may try to use some of these on that other airline. And you know, that's one of those paper caps that may be easier to stuff than it will be easier to put them on the bottom. We'll have to look at it and see, but if it is easier to stuff, we'll just stuff it. But if not, these will fit in there pretty easily, I think. A couple of them. So, alright, that's that. So, join me probably in the morning sometime. So, we'll see you then. Well, good Sunday morning to you all, YouTube. It's 11:31 now in the AM. And I'm back at the bench. Whatever. I'm here. Soldering iron's heating up. Should be just about ready to go. I think it is. As you can see, I have the antenna for the Packard Bell here. I've got wires to solder back onto that. 2 wires, as a matter of fact. Once those are soldered back on, then we can solder the main wires onto the back of the set here. Main wire here and here go onto the back of the set here. These 2 points here. This then connects to the, there's actually 3 places here on the back of the radio that makes it connect to the back. That way you don't have to take the back off or unsolder the wires to take the antenna off. It stays with the radio, and that's the same way the POG radio is designed as well. So anyway, let me get this all straightened out, and we'll come bring you back and show you what I have done. Alright, I'm back again. It's 12:19 now. I do have the antenna on, as you can see. It's all soldered in. New tubes have been installed, and ready to test this. But I think before I do that, I'm going to remove this and see what's involved in restringing the tuning capacitor, because it's obviously not working. So I want to get this off, and this is keeps getting broke, and I'm going to put some backing on it where it maybe will stay a little bit better. It's just cardboard's all it is, but I like to save it if possible. So alright, so I'm going to do that, and we'll be back in a bit. Alright, I do have everything off of the front now, and here is what's left of the string. I shouldn't say what's left of it, it's just broke. It will be easy enough to, I think, can you see that when I'm done, recreate that. It just looked like a couple turns around the shaft, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, it should be able to, I don't know how many times it goes around this, but I'm sure we'll figure that out pretty much. I plugged this in. This worked before, this radio. it was working with the wrong antenna, so I'm not getting anything out of it now. So apparently we've had some gremlins creep into the works, and this thing is just not working at all now. So tubes light up. I wiggled the tubes, did everything I normally do to a set like this when it's dead, but it didn't bring it back. So what we're going to do is probably take a look at the underneath side of it and go from there. I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. To me it sounded like there's just nothing coming out the speaker, so I may look at the wiring on the bottom, see if the output transformer is wired up. It could have gotten messed up or something, I guess. So, alright, my battery is going dead, so I'm getting off of here and I'm going to do this, and we'll be back after a bit. Alright, one more quick little update here before I charge this battery, because it I don't know, it just sort of goes from good to bad. I don't know what the deal is with the battery. I have 152.6 volts DC on the B+, so that's not the problem. Obviously the tubes are lighting up, so I think what we have probably is a resistor that's went open somewhere between the main B+ and whatever. But anyway, the 152.6 is excessive. That's too much for 120 line volt, I think. I don't know how the, well, of course it's got a tube rectifier, and that rectifier tested good, so really good. So maybe that is the voltage, but it seems to me like it's a little high, and that probably it's not drawing any current, obviously, because the radio's not working at all. So that's my thought on it. So what I'm going to do is start checking some of the like this resistor here is kind of a large one. You know, you can see where this comes up to there, and you know, you can see where the path goes pretty easy. And I'm going to check that and see how that's holding up. But like I say, this thing's flashing again, so I'm going to get off here and we'll come back when I have more. Alright, well there you go, it is playing now, you can hear. I'll insert the picture of the bad connection. It was actually the main resistor. I'll point it out on the schematic and put a picture of that, flash picture of that up as well. It's the 150 ohm resistor was not connected to its tie point. You can see by the picture, I think, that it was just barely tacked in there. And that's all I have done to get it working, is to tack it back in. I will go back in, obviously, and fix that. But I just wanted to make sure the radio is playing, and it is. Obviously, we're going to probably get a match on this, but, you know, that's okay. So, I think that's going to wrap up basically wrap up the Packard Bell as far as it's working very well. Just need to fix that resistor connection, and obviously the tuning capacitor needs a new string. So it is working, and like I say, the new tubes are in. New antenna, well, not new antenna, the old antenna is back on it. Working well. I do have a little booster on here. You see that green wire going up through there. At first I didn't know if it was the antenna or what, but when it was silent, so obviously it's working now, and that's going to wrap that one up. So we have this done and that done. I basically I looked at the bottom of this. It does have a lot of wax capacitors in it still. They are obviously working fairly well. I'm not going to worry about it right now. This will do for our baseline, because this is what our radios come in looking like, or sounding like, I guess is what I should say. This is how they come into me, and like I say, that's a good baseline. So that's what I'm after on this. And so next we're going to get after I get the battery charged in the other camera, I'm using the Kodak ZE1 to do this, just handheld. And after I get the battery charged in the Olympus and figure out why it's not holding a charge, we'll get back with it. But so anywho, that's that. And like I say, I'm going to end this one here, part 2. And you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.